This is the Porsche 911 Turbo S, and this is the Cabriolet version, which is the most practical option that you can pick if you're looking for something this quick. And let me tell you, it is ridiculously fast. We'll get to that later on, but I'll talk you through the pricing and some spec details and much, much more as we go along. So if you haven't already, please subscribe and ring the bell. Let's check out this dream machine in this beautiful color. This is not a cheap car, people. I'm not surprised by that, but it is far more expensive than it was last time around. And this one here is $598,000 before on-road costs and before options. And there are plenty of options that you could pick from if you're thinking about speccing up your 911 Turbo S to your specific needs. There's more than 140 colors, a number of different interior combinations that you can pick from, and you can really go all out on the configurator, which is a lot of fun. You can even get it with a watch to match the vehicle that you spec, which is pretty sensational. And then there's also the considerations when it comes to what you're getting as standard if you don't want to spend any more than $600,000 and a little bit more than that on roads. So because it's the Turbo S, it gets the wider body than other 911s. It's also got wider rims and tires. They're 225 35s at the front and 325 30s at the back on 21s and 20s at the front. And because of the performance of this new model, you also get 400mm discs. They're a carbon ceramic composite brake package as standard, and the biggest brakes ever fitted to a road registerable Porsche. And then if you choose the coupe, it comes with 2 seats as standard, but if you choose this Cabriolet one, you get 4 seats standard. And the standard kit list beyond that includes the Sport Chrono package. You've got the active stability management system, electro-hydraulic dynamic chassis control, matrix LED headlights, turbo night finishing on the exterior details, a titanium exhaust that saves almost 7 kilos, and there's an optional front axle lift system as well, which works with the 400-volt system. Plus, beyond that, you've got 18-way adaptive sports seats. There's active aerodynamics, there's a whole host of standard safety spec and tech, and much, much more. So look, you're getting heaps of stuff for your money, and you can make it whatever you want it to be in terms of the spec. And I do think that it stands out if you are looking for something that is both livable, but also absolutely potent when it comes to the performance. But let's talk about some alternatives. In every 911 review I've done, I've always said that the best alternative is probably another Porsche 911, because there are several versions below this that might suit your needs at a lower price. For instance, a GTS Cabriolet at about $150,000 less doesn't leave much to be desired in terms of the performance, and it is still a very livable and practical car as well, but it's 150 grand less money, and that might be the less money that you need to spend. But if you aren't scared about spending 600,000 bucks, good for you. But let's talk about some other options outside of the Porsche lineup. You could have a look at the Bentley Continental, of course. It is a superb machine with heaps of performance and luxuriousness in abundance. And this is kind of similar to that because it is a very luxurious convertible model, but the Bentley is a Bentley, and hey, that might be all you really need to know. Otherwise, you could go and have a look at something from the McLaren stable, and there's plenty of different options that you could pick from there. The Artura, of course, would be a good one, and you've also got some convertible choices there too, but maybe a bit more sports focused than this one. This is still a very practical car, and surprisingly comfortable on the inside. Now, that's enough about the alternatives. Let's keep chatting, shall we? Now, obviously there have been a number of changes to the 911 Turbo S in terms of the active aerodynamics, including these vertical slats in the front bumper, which are designed to open up to give you more airflow if you need it, or not, close up if they don't need it. And there's also a flap down below there, which is designed to pop out and give you more aerodynamic efficiency, and also to shield the brakes from water if it's raining, and that is pretty nifty. Now let's have a look at in profile here. There are some people out there who don't love the 911 Cabriolet profile, especially with the roof down. I think it looks pretty cool, although it looks a little bit stranger the further around the car you get. Now, have a look at the numbers on your screen in terms of the dimensions. It is a relatively large car, and it's wider as the Turbo S model because they've pumped it up a bit, but ground clearance is a consideration as well, and you can still get the optional nose lifter if that's what you want. And at the rear, you've got a few different changes. Obviously, you've got the staggered wheels too, so 21s at the back, 20s at the front. They're wider than other 911s as well. And that hump there, yeah, for some people that might not be too appealing, but I reckon it looks fantastic. But it does look wider at the back, but it's not, which is quite surprising. All right, now I've had to put the roof up and open this section, which is sort of your boot. It's not a huge boot, as you can see right there. There is some storage capacity behind the rear seats, but it is not a lot, and it will be best considered for just a couple of soft bags, I would suggest, if you are thinking of going for a road trip. But if you do want to put the roof down, well, the roof sits in that space. So yeah, it's probably better to use the frunk. So let's have a look at the frunk. The switch is in here again. You know what's surprising to me is that Porsche, the brand that it is, hasn't yet managed to have the twin trigger switch with your finger. So it's actually still got an actual bonnet latch, as you can see there. Some other, well, Chinese cars, frankly, have just quick release frunk areas. This one doesn't. All right, now the frunk space is actually very, very handy. The number of litres on your screen now. And that will mean that you'll be able to fit a lot of luggage in there. Some big bags, still soft bags probably. And you've also got a first aid kit, and you will get a tyre repair kit as well in the Australian spec cars. So I'd love to know what you think. Is that impractical for a car like this? But it does, remember, come with 4 seats. And if you really need luggage space and you don't have kids or people that you're taking with you, that is actually a pretty handy amount of space back there in order for you to put some bags. You can strap them in with the seat belts. That's what I did this morning on this test drive. All right, let's have a look at the interior of this Turbo S, and it is gorgeous. Very familiar from other 911s, obviously, but there have been some trim changes to make it feel and look a little bit different. So there's a different carbon fiber finish across the dashboard here, and you've also got the Turbo S emblazoned on there, of course. Nice Turbo Night theme stitching on the dashboard too, and it looks absolutely beautiful. You've got the Turbo Night style finish here as well. This steering wheel is gorgeous. It's lovely to hold on to. You've got your drive mode selector there, and the red button, that's the one that you're always told not to press. Look, this is a very, very nice feeling cabin. You've got the full digital instrumentation in front of you as well, of course, and it is configurable, so you can jump through different display modes using the controls on the steering wheel. And then you've got this media screen. I'm not going to do much on it because it's just like other Porsches. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and sat-nav as well, and a number of other controls on screen. And then there's these little trigger switches right here to quickly jump between things like your suspension firmness and also sports mode for your exhaust. And look, there's plenty more besides that in terms of buttons, thankfully. You got trigger switches for your climate control and your fan. You got actual dials for your volume and tuning, and little haptic style controls up the top for some of the other aircon stuff. Nice little shifter. Manual mode button there if you want it, and you obviously have a couple of paddle shifters, and these are your roof controls. So let me just put the roof up for you. Let's see how quick it does it. It is a relatively quick thing. You can do it at speed as well, and yes, it does offer it a pretty convincing coupe style roofline. Put the windows up too, and look, yeah, it's very well insulated. It's quiet when you are on the freeway or the highway, as we were earlier today, and it does mean that it's a bit more refined than you might be expecting and living up to the luxury vibes. Now, I'll show you some more luxury stuff. Of course, you've got heated seats, and there's a little switch down there for your heated steering wheel. You've got the 18-way adjustable front seats, which are absolutely gorgeous. They're so comfortable. And of course, you get the different looking trim with Turbo S proudly presented there as well. This is just a very, very comfortable cabin and very luxurious feeling. You might not necessarily be thinking that you're going to be getting this kind of luxury car meets sports car experience, but you do in this $600,000 Porsche. Now, yes, there are seats in the back of this Cabriolet model, as you can see there. You've got 2 seats. They are probably best left for little kids up to 10 or 12 years old. You could probably fit them back there. You've got ISO fixed points and top tethers too. So you could fit a child seat in the back there and it'd be a pretty interesting experience for the toddler or the baby. But yeah, it's practical and thoughtful. I'm not going to jump into the back because, I mean, do you think I'll fit back there? I have done it. I can fit, but it's not comfortable for anyone involved. Not comfortable showing you it, frankly. All right, let's keep going. Party at the back, people. That's what they say. Now, this 911 Turbo S has a twin turbo 6-cylinder hybrid. Now, that's one way to describe it, but this T hybrid setup includes a 1.9 kilowatt hour battery. There's 2 electric exhaust gas turbochargers, or eTurbos, and an electric motor sandwiched in the transmission as well. And it is all good for 523 kilowatts of power, 800 Newton meters of torque, all combined. It is a very, very high-tech powertrain setup. Now, the Cabriolet is a little bit slower than the Coupe. You'll see the 0 to 100 time for it on your screen, 0.1 of a second slower than the Coupe. And if you're thinking about the 0 to 200 times, well, it's about 0.3 seconds slower. Still, extremely fast. Okay, top down, let's hit the road in the Turbo S Cabriolet, and let me tell you, I've done a few hours in this car already and I bloody love it. It's so easy to drive. Look, for a bit of backstory, I spent about 40 hours getting to Spain for this after some flight issues, and then had a stomach bug, and then had the worst sleep I've had in years. And I got into this car this morning and had to drive through some very tight Spanish villages and then some very twisty Spanish back roads, and it is just so easy to get to terms with. Some of that comes down to the ease of controls, so you don't have to think. You just get in and adjust things how you would in a normal car, even though this is hardly a normal car. It's superb the way that you can just get to grips with this vehicle. And let's talk more about the drive experience from the enthusiastic perspective. So this engine and the electrification as part of it is just epic. You put your foot down and it is insanely responsive. Like, the traction on offer, you don't have to think. You know that you'll get through that corner at the speed that you're carrying. You know that if you just need a bit more, it's just half a throttle press away. Sorry about the wind noise, but this is just so amazing. As a drop top tourer, you are not going to feel shortchanged. It is superb in the way that it progresses along the road. And another amazing thing about it is just how stiff this convertible body feels. There's not too much scuttle shake, so you can probably tell that the camera is trying to stabilize a little bit, but it's not nearly as wobbly as some other cars. And it feels taut. It feels really intact with the surface below. You've got amazing tires as well, and just so much contact patch with the road, but it doesn't feel too big to drive. It feels manageable. It feels easy enough to get your head around the size of it and the power on offer here. The steering is intrinsic. It's just, you think about where you want to go and you're there. And the ride comfort, I can't understate how good the ride is in this car. It is beyond what I was expecting. It is luxury convertible levels of plush. There's not too much road noise intrusion. You get wind noise intrusion if you lower the roof, obviously, but the refinement here is unbelievable. When I first saw the price, I thought 600 grand, are they kidding? And then I drove it, and now I understand. This is that kind of car. It is worth the money. It is just so amazingly good. It's also got some of the best brakes I've experienced on an electrified car as well. They really do pull you up hard, and they do have bigger discs than any other production Porsche that's come before it. This is just easy to drive and so easy to manipulate this car into being a sporty car or a normal drive experience or a touristic drive experience, as they would say in somewhere like Spain. So I just can't tell you how much I love this car. There are some things though, like most modern cars, that might annoy you. There is a speed sign recognition system, there is a way to turn it off, but I haven't had the chance to, so it is chiming a little bit to tell me that I may be going a bit faster than I should. Actually, I should be grateful for that, I guess. But there's lane keeping as well. If you don't want that on, it's just a push and hold of the stalk button for your cruise control. It's got adaptive cruise, it's got all the smarts that you would expect in terms of the safety stuff, and I think that on the daily it won't be too annoying. It's just that if you are annoyed by speed sign stuff, the fact that you're getting a car that is so fast might actually be at odds in some ways, but hey, it's just the way cars are these days. Right, so the drive experience, I've just been in normal the whole time. Let me just give it a flick to sport and give it a boot. That's not even flat. Oh my word. Goodness me, that's enough. Now, as I said, the powertrain allows you to use the electric motors in the turbos to get you away from a standstill. And then once you're at a certain speed, those will instead become electricity generators to feed power into your battery pack. And what all that means is there's a little icon on the screen that will show you how full your battery is based on what sort of driving you've been doing. And if you are doing a lot of driving where maybe you are at higher speeds and you're not asking everything of the electric turbos, then you will fill up the battery pretty quickly. And it does offer you heaps of assistance. Obviously, this electrification is very, very clever. And the way that it all behaves, it doesn't require you to think about it, and nor does the 8-speed automatic transmission. The dual clutch is just so smooth, so fast with its responses, and there's just so much to like about this powertrain and the way that they have managed to change what a Turbo S is into being something that is modern and futuristic and apparently future-proof in terms of allowing internal combustion to maintain as part of the Porsche model lineup for the years to come, which is, I mean, hallelujah for that. All right, let's talk fuel consumption. This is not a efficiency hybrid, it's a performance hybrid. So don't go thinking that you're gonna get something that does 5 litres per 100, because the official combined cycle number is higher than that. You'll see it on your screen now. And over my time in this car, which has been across a mix of different driving, in some urban stuff, some stop-start, some highway, and a few occasional little squirts, of course, I have seen 13.2 litres per 100, and I think that is probably acceptable for a car like this. And I mean, you'll get it lower if you're just doing a country road cruise at legal speeds, but if you are more enthusiastic, you might find the fuel use going up pretty fast. But also, it does need premium juice, as you would expect. Fuel tank capacity is on the screen now. So yeah, I mean, don't go thinking it's a efficiency hybrid, because that's not what it is, but it is relatively efficient for the performance, I would say. The price might be a little bit intimidating, but the drive experience is not, and the overall experience in the Turbo S Cabriolet is amazing. This is a delightful car. It's luxurious. It is undeniably one of the fastest cars I've ever driven, but also superb when it comes to just being able to jump in and drive. It's just excellent. What do you think about it? Have your say in the comments. Is it worth 600 grand? Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you when I see you.